Welcome to another video. So in this video, we will be discussing these 4 critical approaches or literary criticism theories. The first one is reader response theory. Next one is formalism or the formalist criticism, feminism or the feminist criticism, and Marxism or the Marxist criticism. So let's start with reader response. So a reader response theory removes the focus from the text and is more concerned with the reviewer's reaction and understanding as an audience of a text. Meaning, it does not concern itself with how the author interprets his or her work, but how the reader perceives and understands and analyzes the meaning of the work or the text. So for example, here is a sample reader response critique of Dead Stars by Paz Marquez Benitez, who is the first writer of the first Philippine literary text or short story written in English, which is Dead Stars. So in here, you will see the title gives a melancholic atmosphere because of the word dead. It shows how love works in ways no one can totally take in control. Although Alfredo was already engaged to Esperanza, he developed a whirlwind of emotion which can also be said to be love to Julia. The story is a picture of reality nowadays. There are people who are already committed to a person who eventually develop feelings toward another person, though the way each and every person deals with the situation differ. So as you can see, in this paragraph, it's reader response because of the following specific sentences. The story is a picture of reality nowadays. There are people who are already committed to a person who eventually develop feeling towards another person, though the way each and every person deals with the situation differs. So as you can see, the reader or the writer of this critique likens the situation or the events in the story in Dead Stars to the reality nowadays, a reality that the reader is familiar with, the reality that the reader knows about relationships nowadays. So it's his or her own understanding of relationships, infidelity in relationships, and how they work out. So that is reader response. Next is formalism. So in comparison to reader response, this one focuses on the text itself and not the reader. Meaning, it focuses on the form, which means it looks into the different parts of the text and analyzes how those parts deliver the meaning of the text. So if it is a short story that you are critiquing or reading, when you analyze the characters, the point of view, how it is written, the different techniques used by the author, those things play out in the story, and when you analyze how they give you the meaning of the text, that is actually formalism. If you're analyzing a poem or poetry and you analyze the rhymes, the different symbolisms, the different literary devices in that poem, then you are using formalism. So here is an example still about Dead Stars by Paz Marquez Benitez. The title of the work already gives an idea as to what it means. So in the first sentence alone, you already know that it focuses on the form of the text in focus on the title. So it discusses how the title gives the meaning of the story, how it relates to the meaning of the story. So why did the author chose Dead Stars as the title of the story? So when you explain that and how it relates to the meaning of the story or the lesson in the story, then you are using formalism. Aside from that, we also have feminism. This focuses on how literature represents or presents women as subjects of social, political, psychological, and economic oppression. So what are the ways in the text that a female or female characters are portrayed? For example, if your character is a mother, what kind of mother is she? And if she is a single woman or if she is a slave and so on and so forth, those things about a female character and how other characters in the story treat her or think about her, those ideas fall under feminism. It also discusses about how culture determines gender. So for example, in the Philippines, if you are a married woman, what are the expectations of the society about you? So those things fall under feminism. How gender equality or the lack of it is presented in the text. So are there ways or moments in the story wherein inequality against women or girls were shown? How gender issues are presented in literary works and other aspects of human production. So what are the different issues about gender was discussed in the story? Example of that is where people frown upon women breastfeeding in public, but there are no problems when a man goes out of the street without a shirt on, or if they pee on the walls outside on the streets. So there is no issue about that. But if a woman breastfeeds, which is a natural thing, and she does it in public, then there are brows raised towards her. So that is feminism. Questioning all of those things fall under feminism. How patriarchal ideology is an overpowering presence. So patriarchal meaning the dominance or the power lies on the male characters. So for example, in a family, in the story, the father decides everything and the mother does not have a say on anything. So this is feminism. So in this different statements or excerpts from materials, I want you to raise your hand in the comment box. If you have your reactions, you may share it on the comment box below. So this one is an excerpt from the book The Great Gatsby. Alright, I'm glad it's a girl, and I hope she'll be a fool. That's the best thing a girl can be in this world, a beautiful little fool. As you can see in this statement, there is a gender issue. Women are belittled or boxed into a square wherein if they are not beautiful, they have no use at all in the society. What about this one? This is from the movie The Kissing Booth, a modern movie. Wearing a skirt like that is asking for it, which is sadly a common opinion nowadays, and we find it online that wearing a short skirt is asking for it. So meaning a woman simply wears a skirt, and because of this logic, it means that she is inviting other people to lust over her. So that is what this quote means. What about this one? It's from Beauty and the Beast. It's not right for a woman to read. Soon she starts getting ideas and thinking. Apparently, reading a book for a woman is an issue, since she might get ideas and start to think. And apparently, people before believed that women have no rights for education, for votation, or having a voice in the society. So that is feminism. Marxism, on the other hand, does not focus on the gender issues. It focuses on the different issues regarding the economic classes. So it's the social struggle among the elite to the poor, or the lower class, working class, middle class to the upper class. So here is an example. In Aladdin, the main character Aladdin was not regarded by the public when he was still poor, but when he had his hands with a magic lamp and the genie, and he asked to be made a prince, then every attention was towards him and he was treated well by the public. So that is Marxism. Since you have different opportunities and privileges since you are belonging into a certain class. So that is Marxism. Another way to show you Marxism is from this movie, Parasite. This is the Korean movie who won awards in Hollywood. So, in a scene there was a very strong rain. And the next day, the rich said, "The sky is so blue and no pollution thanks to all the rain yesterday. The rain was a blessing," they even said. Cut to the scene for the poor people who live on the slums, who were given a nightmare because of the rain. So as you can see, the material is rain, and if you are an upper class, if you belong to the rich people group, then you may think that the rain is a blessing. But if you were part of those people whose houses were destroyed because of the rain, who were flooded because of the rain, you might think of the rain as a nightmare. So there is a disparity among the different social classes, and analyzing that difference or those differences fall under Marxism. This one, let's try our hands on the different questions that I have provided here from the about the movie Encanto. This is the latest Disney film. So, for example, number 1, what is the conflict of the characters in the movie? So, if I ask myself, what is the conflict of the characters in the movie? What critical approach am I employing? Is it reader response, formalism, feminism, or Marxism? Comment your answers below. Okay, so the answer here is formalism. Since you are asking for the conflict of the characters, which is an element or a part of the form of the plot. So it's formalism. Number 2, Luisa has the power of extraordinary strength and is shown as a muscular girl. Although there have been a lot of female heroes, are there any female characters that look like her? And the answer here is feminism, since you are focusing on the body or physical image of strong women in film. Number 3, like other Colombian families, the Madrigals were also violently displaced and they lost their home. What does this say about their society? And this is Marxism, since you're already asking about their social issues and social tragedies. Number 4, which part of the film connected to you the most? If you ask yourself which part do you relate to the most or which part of the film connected to you the most, this is reader response, since it's about the reader, or in this case, since it's a movie, the viewer's opinion about the work. And the last one is plain Maribel had problems with the gorgeous Isabella. In real life, are women really wired to despise each other for being different? So this is another form of feminism. So not only are you going to analyze how male characters treat female characters, you may also analyze how the female characters had a connection or what are their dynamics in a certain material. That is also feminism. And as an end to our discussion, I just want to share this reminder that a text or a material, may it be a novel, short story, poem, script, or a play, could be analyzed using a variety of critical approaches. In that asking questions is the best way to fully understand anything. Meaning, you can actually use more than one literary criticism approach when you are writing your critic paper. When you are analyzing a material, you can choose to use reader response as well as feminism or formalism as well as Marxism and the likes. So all those things you can actually do, and when you use different ways to analyze a material, you are giving yourself more opportunities to understand a material better. And with that, here are the activities that you will be answering this week. So for the first part, it's written work. All you have to do is to identify what literary approach is being described here. And then next one, all you have to do is write true or false. The statements are about the difference between thesis statement and topic sentence. And the performance task seems different. However, difficult, I mean. However, it's very simple. All you have to do is to enumerate the components of the following, meaning all you have to do is list the parts or features. So in the first column, all you have to do is to list or enumerate the parts or features of a thesis statement. Check out the previous video that I have uploaded about it. Paragraph, so discuss or list the parts or features of a paragraph. And then the last column, list the parts or features of an academic text. And in the lowest part, or the last part, is reflection questions. Number 1, what part of this learning activity sheet have you encountered with difficulty and why? And what part of this learning activity sheet you learned easily and why? For this part, all you have to do is to write 2 to 3 sentences of your thoughts about the questions that are given. And that's it. Thank you so much for participating and watching this video. I hope it helped you understand the lessons. Thank you.